Welcome back to Banished, everybody. My name is Baer, and we are doing pretty damn well. Last time we left off, we just finished the completion of this marketplace, as well as a few more stone homes over here that are already kind of being filled up. As I recall, we invited about 19 nomads in to live in our newfound land, and sadly, quite a few of them are still occupying the boarding house. And I'm also just realizing that that mega surplus of food is kind of being drained, but that's more than likely because I'm storing quite a bit of it inside of the trading post. So when we brought those 19 nomads in, I was terrified that I was going to be really depleting my surplus of food. But then we quickly realized as time went on, as they began filling up those various roles, that I actually have quite a bit of capacity for food production. I'm just not filling the necessary employment offers to be able to produce that much food. So once I fill all of these up, I'm actually doing quite well for myself. In fact, I'm still doing pretty well without having all of those roles filled. So I think we'll be okay. This is about where we were right before all of the nomads took effect. So I think we're going to be okay for a short while. We still got about like 10 or 12, probably even more than that. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 folks in the boarding house. So we still need quite a few more houses constructed. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and lay down the plots for a couple more stone homes right here next to the other ones that are being constructed very quickly. And of course, got to change up the look every now and then. Got to keep folks feeling fresh. The most important part of any meal is feeling fresh. That's what Frosted Flakes motto is, right? They're fresh and delicious and magically delicious. The Bisco Ding. I'm gonna build a well here, pretty much because it's the only thing that fits in that area. But it's also good to have wells everywhere, just in case things, you know, light on fire and are destroyed, and no one does anything about it because they don't know how to operate a well. This guy's only cutting. I just realized that, and I'm going to fix it. I'm actually gonna give him another forester, just so they don't have to. Oh man, I kind of wish that was not auto-assigned to one of these other buildings, but that's okay. Man, it just looks so bleak and desolate now that they've only been cutting down trees, but we definitely don't need to focus on that too much anymore. We've got a good supply of logs, a good supply of firewood, and I'd like to even make that further better. Better is the word, but more efficient, I guess. But the laborers are now back down. I've got quite a few stone cutters, so I'm hoping that that severely amps up the production of stone from the quarry itself, which is actually down to 74% capacity, so really there's not much room for this to be producing too much. Back to iron production for the mine over here, as I unfortunately cannot build steel tools for very much longer. We have made all the warm coats we could as well, so it's time to get back to hide coat production. And he might be out of leather as well. I seriously doubt it, because we are, as I mentioned before, getting quite a bit from both hunting cabins and the overabundance of moo cows down here. Oh, they look so delicious. We've had quite a bit of beef and venison as well, so that's good, good, good. Building more homes over here. How many were we down to? Still quite a few. We got, it looks like, down to 7, so that's quite a bit better. Starting to fill out the housing I'm providing for them. This marketplace is also starting to fill up with a variety of goods, so that's very nice as well. All these stone homes are within the reach. Excellent, excellent stuff. Probably going to build a farm back here behind the houses as well, just to make sure I take advantage of that space. Unfortunately, I don't think there's many things I can place down here. If I wanted to, I could definitely start considering building a chapel at some point. It's not really been necessary, I don't think, considering my happiness has been 4.5 or 5 stars for quite a while. Nest has replaced Amon as a farmer. That's totally fine by me. I think Nest actually just recently became a laborer. Yes, indeed he did. He was auto-assigned the moment he exited that school building. I'm alright with that. Now, quite a bit more natural resources to be excavated over here. In fact, we may go full circle in completing the construction of buildings up to this area. But our growth has just been really solid throughout this entire experience. I'm really hoping that this is a guy that's going to accept venison as a trade offering, because I've just got so much of it to give away. Literally 3,500 units of venison just sitting there waiting to be traded away. Now, we are at about net zero internet speeds, or also gain of food and stuffs. Wow, this is a shitty trader. Holy cow. I don't want anything having to do with you, although I suppose I might as well get your logs, considering I have ale to do nothing with. So there we go. That's gonna give me 66 logs for a firewood and the thing I was gonna trade away anyway. That's fine by me. Alright. What haves yo? Shouldn't have even really done that, but whatever. Alright. This is being built. This may take away... Oh, wow, the boarding house is empty. Good. Okay. That means we can take in more nomads if we wanted to, and then we can fill in even more food production roles, which we don't have capacity for anymore, but we are going to build this extra fishing dock. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and let them start construction on that, because they will build this stone house very shortly. And then after that, I'm not really sure why they have room for 8 builders. I'm not seeing any other construction projects that are going on right now. Pretty sure nobody built anything without my permission. That would be extremely interesting. Lennox has died, replaced by Angelicia. It's not Angelica, is it? That is Angelicia. Angelicia. That's better. I like that pronunciation. I only pronounce names based on how cool they sound to me, to my interpretation of them. That's why Baer is pronounced Baer in my inner circles. Also in my inner ear. Like, it just rings off there, doesn't it? This cemetery plot is actually filling up quite quickly. I might have to build another one. That might be how I use this space. Probably not a terrible option. Because I think, if I remember right, having the gravestones near the houses actually does well for the citizens. Which is weird, but why question it, right? So I might have just like a little 7x7 cemetery plot right there, just to house probably 9 or 10 graves. That's okay. That's a good use of the plot of land. I don't want to build another home there, because that would be another home that would not be within the range of a marketplace. I think I can do that. That's probably a good idea. Alright, so they're gathering the logs and the stone necessary for this other fishing dock here. Pretty much just preparing myself for the inevitability of seeing something like 25 nomads awaiting at the town hall, which would be pretty incredible, and I don't really have the room to give them all tasks. I have plenty of room for vendors, even though I'm pretty sure I don't actually need more than 1 or 2 working at every single one. I can't imagine that there's any need for that many vendors. I'm very surprised that 12 is the capacity for this thing, because I've never really felt the need to have more than the one working at each station. Maybe it'll help out the happiness a little bit, but at the same time, we're doing perfectly well for ourselves. In fact, I should be rapidly encouraging the growth of our civilization still. Now, what are the 4 builders working on at the moment? I suppose I could probably find that out in the town hall. Overview of builders. They are going to work on the cemetery. That's right, but they only need 2 here, so there's something else that I laid down that I don't remember. I suppose... Oh, no, that's right. So they got 2 on the fishing dock and then 2 on the cemetery. Okay. Got it. Got it. Alright, let's go ahead and lay down some more space for houses. I don't think I can put any up here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to work out. That's a damn shame. Could build a mine there at some point, couldn't I? If I, let's see. A mine would be of use to me in this area, but I'm not 100% sure where I'd be able to put it. Right there could be, decent. That'd be kind of crappy, actually. Well, maybe not. It's not so bad, actually. That'd be a road all the way around, but if I built a bridge here... Because eventually I'm sure I'll be expanding over in this area. I'm certainly not thinking about laying the plot down for the mine right now, but I'm just saying, like, some way to utilize this space. That could definitely end up being a thing. But for now, let's focus on, I suppose, the expansion in this area. Fortunately, I've kind of misconstructed my road, but then again, I wouldn't be able to build up there anyway. So let's just go ahead and lay down a plot right there, another one right there, and another one right there as well. Cool. Alright. I doubt we'll have the resources to finish those very soon, but it is still good to plan for the future and to make sure that we're going to be able to continue encouraging expansion. Because what are we here for if not to become a bigger civilization, right? Oh, man. I hope some of these people eventually tire of visiting the tombstones of the elders. One day they'll realize that nothing they did was important. It's not like they laid the foundation for their continued success into year 31 in the winter of our discontent of my Lord Our Lady or anything like that. No, that seems silly. That seems like something I made up on the spot to give them credit for a task they did not complete on their own. Absolutely absurd. Alright, fishing dock is complete. I'm actually going to assign a couple more folks to work in that, considering I don't want it to just be built for no reason. That would be absurd, would it not? Still moving a bunch more venison in here. Still got 3,500 venison And I believe we are at a surplus again. Yeah, quite a bit. Up to about 1,300 of a surplus in late winter. So that's an excellent sight to see. In fact, I am considering now. I don't think my herbalist is doing very well in this deep woods. He might have to relocate again. I keep kicking him out in favor of destroying woods and filling them with pastures of cows and chickens. Pretty much the only thing I'll ever have again. An option I could have is just building the Herbalist Lodge way out in deep space. And hoping that I don't ever plan to disturb him out there. So here's my initial instinct. What I could do... Well, suppose what I could do... Here's an option. If I built the Herbalist Lodge down here, I could tell this guy not to cut down trees anymore, and instead only to plant them, and then the Herbalist Lodge would work well in this area, and then I could use this for more pasture space and get more cows and chickens. That could work out. Let's go ahead and try that out. I haven't really needed herbs anyway, so I suppose it's as good of a time as any to try this strategy and see whether or not I'm actually going to be able to make use of this in that vein. So we'll do that. He is no longer working as the herbalist, so we need to take him out of that role by going like, where are you? Where are you? There you are. There we go. He's going to be a laborer for a little while here. And I will lay down the plots for a new herbalist location right over here. And hope that the combination of those two things, I certainly haven't actually tried this, so I don't know what to expect of it, but I assume that if he's only planting trees, the mature trees that have already grown over here will be accessible to the herbalist, and he should be able to capitalize on that, and then I can just destroy all these woods and make space for even more pasture! It's beautiful! It's going to be a fantastic thing. I think it'll work out just great. We got another laborer. Two folks died. A builder died, and no one's available to replace them, but luckily we've got a couple more that's just waiting in the wings, so there we go. Still building these homes. I think these are of higher priority at the moment. Let's see what they're working on right now. Just this one here. Those are 3 at 2 each, so that's 6. Still got the cemetery being built over here, so that's 12, or no, 8, sorry. I can do math. And I think this requires 2 as well. So that's 10. 2 more being built somewhere. This is done. What are they working on? Alright, so we're down to 10 now, so maybe it was something that I just didn't see that got finished off straight away. Another merchant comes through. That's a very good sight. Especially if he accepts venison, because that would be a fright if he didn't. Tried desperately to save that rhyming scheme. Ended up falling short. Let's see what he's got. Logs again! Alright, this sucks balls. I don't even want him, man. Go away. I want a better merchant. F you. Lots of firewood, though. I could have given you firewood for logs, I suppose, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, this guy's gotta get planting these trees again. I think this is gonna work out. Oh, that's right. We have the herbalist station that we're already building. Okay, so something I didn't see indeed. I think this is gonna work out just fine, though. That is a good idea, in my opinion. We've already done that. I've already dismissed him. Calm down. He's gone. August! It's like we're playing Broken Age again. August! Has become an adult. 2 children born, Lamont and Germalini. Germani, that's what it is. The houses are still pretty full, but it's looking a lot better than having a bunch of people in boarding homes, so that's a good thing. There's our good old O'Reilly as well, newborn infant. This is starting to scare me now. Okay, so I'm realizing that there's actually quite a few older citizens. Those are going to be dying off more quickly than I'd like for them to. We are birthing quite a few children as well, though, so I think we're into another death and birth cycle that is going to end up in the long run working out for me. But for the time being, I'm not going to be able to capitalize on the excess of laborers that I'd like to see. Still building quite a few homes, encouraging expansion that way. Also got that grave plot up, so we've got probably room for about 9 more tombstones should we need it. This one's probably going to be filling up pretty soon now that I've realized all those dead folks are going to be popping up pretty shortly here. Oh, goodness. Oh, the dead. I do not envy thee. Some would. Alright, more pasture land. Let's do it. Lay this down right here. Big old pasture. Oh, it's going to be pretty. In fact, I might leave some room for farmland down here, actually. So let's go like this. Nice, big, even pasture. 14 by 17. 15 by 17 even. There we go. That'll be very, very good. Storage for produced goods is near capacity again. They've also reached their limit for fuel. Let's go ahead and bump those guys up a touch. These guys have just a ton of venison in here again. So much venison. I have just... I've got way too much. Alright, we're storing 4,000 venison inside of the trading post because they've still got plenty of capacity, so we might as well. Builders are dying off. Apparently we're using a lot of our elderly citizens as builders, which just doesn't seem like the best option. We all should be using steel tools at this point as well, so that's a very good thing. Making some iron ones right now, sadly. Actually, no, he's still trying to work on steel tools. I just haven't been letting him for quite some time. I should probably have him doing something else, to be honest. That's a laborer that I'm wasting for the moment. Let's take him down and put him in as a builder. There we go. Miners and stonecutters are still doing some good work. These guys are focusing on this cemetery that has room for 9 graves, and Antos was the first. He built his own... He literally dug his own grave, Antos the Builder. That's... that is just perfectly fitting. I love that. Alright, there's a big-ass pasture down here. They should actually be focusing on this gatherer, or the Herbalist's Lodge. Hopefully they're doing that very thing. Building some stone over here. 12 stone remaining for this one. Still need a ton of stone to actually finish off the production of these stone houses over here. But I don't want to go back to the wooden homes. Like, I easily could build some wooden homes over here to make up for the fact that I literally have no stone at the moment. But I'm preferential to making sure that we can build the better stuff. Now that we're in the spot that we are, I think it's more fortuitous for me to continue on in that mindset. So we'll keep that going. This thing is definitely going to fill up a lot more quickly than I would have liked it to. That's a bummer. I'm going to have to actually consider the possibility of assigning some space over here in these big lush fields. In fact, let's have a look at this. Let's see whether or not I can actually build a cemetery somewhere around here. Something like this. That could work, because then I could build a road around it. If I went like that, that could be a good use of that space. So if I go like this, something like this. Then I just have to make sure I can build a road around it to get all the way to this mine if I ever decide to put it there as well. That could be a thing I do. For the future. For the future of Baerstotzka, that could certainly be in the cards. Quite a few students here now. Okay, we've also run into our max capacity of these, so I definitely don't need 2 woodcutters at the moment. We're going to stop production there. I'm going to take out one of them and hopefully just have this guy going strong. I'm going to move a bit more of this firewood over here to reach the 1150 limit again and just have a bit of extra capacity inside of the storage units. So we'll do that. You should have room to chop up quite a bit more. Don't need to have that second woodcutter station. We've got a couple more laborers, more builders, hopefully finishing the construction of this lodge and of the pasture down here as well. It looks like this is nearing readiness stature for the initiation of actual building. Herbalist Lodge over here will do just fine. Still planting trees down in the forester's area this way. These guys, I might just have to bump up the fuel limit again. I certainly have no reason not to. So that's not going to be an issue for a very long time. I should check the food production again just to make sure. Yep, we are indeed still in a surplus. I'm ready for some more nomads, man. I'm actually totally down with the idea of getting like 19 more people showing up and filling up the boarding house again and going through that whole procedure, because I was very worried about that at first. But now it seems like it's going to be a pretty obvious... Oh, God. Oh, God. That... Well, speaking of an emergency, that's really bad. We just lost all of our children. We have... Whoa. Okay, hold on a second, though. All of those students just turned into adult laborers. They're not educated, but they're out there now. Oh, goodness. That brought our educated rate down. Plummeted it. It was at like 85% before. Alright, but now... Good God, all of a sudden we have 17 laborers and nothing to do with them. So that's quite a drastic shift. Holy cow. Alright, well, food is still not that big of an issue because they're the same people. They're just ready to work now. Unfortunately, they're not going to be as effective as they could be. Let's just throw a bunch of them into mining and stone cutting, I guess, and then we'll have 4 laborers with which to do as we please. And get those supplies of stone up, hopefully, and I might have to consider the possibility of laying down the woodwork for a another freaking, what's it called? Another quarry? Yeah, another quarry to mine stone from the ground. Where could we do that? Unfortunately, not over here anywhere. There's not been any music for a while. I wonder why that is. Music. Music? Where'd you go, music? I miss you. You set the tone so beautifully. I was actually gushing about a particular song a little while ago in the episodes, the lost episodes, if you will. We'll call it that just to make it sound more profound. You know, this could be a good place for it too, actually. Eventually we'll have to do that. Don't have to worry about that for the moment. Okay, hold on a second. I want to make sure we're not just, like, turned off the music accidentally for some reason. No, it's there. It's just not... okay. There we go. That's weird. Alright, anyway. I feel better now. I need the music, man. I need the music to make me feel good about what's going down. Alright, still 3 more laborers here. Got all 10 builders working valiantly toward our efforts. I don't really know where else to put these guys, man. I don't need another trader. I suppose I can just do a couple more miners and stonecutters. It's exactly what I wanted out of a bunch of different laborers, so that's perfectly fine with me. Still the surplus of food. Don't really need to assign them to be a fisherman or anything like that. Yep, still good. Still very good. Another trader. All right, please take away my 4,500 pounds of venison. I would very much appreciate that. If you could do that for me, buddy. Allow me to trade away this massive supply of excess. Please, 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 give me that option. I'm begging you. Let's see it. Let's see what he's got. Trading away. Whoa, oh, yes. Oh, this guy knows exactly what I needed. All right, so let's start off with like 2,000 here, see what we can get. Pretty much everything as a result of that. There's some walnuts. Pretty much nothing new to me, but I definitely wanted to trade away to this guy. I was hoping that he'd have some seeds, too, but I suppose that's fine. There we go. Another trade with the devil. Totally fine with that. Overpaying by so much still. My god. Alright. Up we go. Oh, not one by one, please. Overpaying by that many, so let's go down to like 50. Additional 3 units. Done. 1,054 venison for everything you've got. Totally in the cards, buddy. There you go. Alright. Wow. What a trade. Hoping for more, but we got a little bit out of that. We got a new schoolhouse teacher, a bunch of uneducated laborers, and, yeah, I'm satisfied. Thanks for watching this episode of Banished, guys. Leave a like if you're enjoying the series and the videos and all that good stuff. Really helps to support the channel and support all I do here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.